So you're thinking about getting a Cricut, or you have one and you're just not sure where to start. In this video, we are going to unbox, set up, and create a project with the Cricut Maker 3. We will cover everything you need to know so that you can confidently craft with Cricut. Let's dive in. Thanks to Cricut for sponsoring this video. I'm Sarah, and you're watching Creative Ramblings, where I share simple creative projects and in-depth tutorials to help you along your creative journey. I have been using Cricut for years, and I dive deep into everything Cricut can do so that I can teach you how to craft confidently with these machines. So let's start with the basics. What is Cricut? This is one of 7 machines that Cricut makes. This is a smart cutting machine that can help you design and personalize just about anything you can think of. Today we're focusing on the Cricut Maker 3. If you're not sure which machine is right for you, take a look at my comparison video to help with that decision. So who is this machine for? This is for the person who wants to make cards or personalized t-shirts or home decor. The Cricut Maker 3 has the ability to use dozens of different tools that are compatible with hundreds of materials. You can do anything from cutting and scoring paper, cutting out stickers or decals, even engraving metal and cutting wood. This machine can do it all. When you have a machine that can do it all, it can feel a little overwhelming to just get started. So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to just get started. So we are actually going to go backwards and take this out of the box and show you what's in it. Now, if you haven't purchased a Cricut just yet, I highly encourage you to check out a bundle. You can find links to my favorites down in the description. A bundle includes not only this machine here, but a variety of different materials and tools to help you get started. When you order the Cricut Maker 3, this is what you get, this big box right here. So let's open it up. Cricut makes this really easy for you. On the top of your machine is a little envelope. This is a great place to start. Inside this envelope is everything you need to create your first project. We even have a little let's get started card here. You're also going to find a piece of black smart vinyl, and this is what we're going to create our first project on. Now we can pull the actual machine out of the box. These machines are packaged really well. There's cardboard in there to keep it safe and secure, and there's plastic around the entire machine. This machine is heavy, which makes it really sturdy. It's not going to move around when you're doing all of those cuts. In the bottom of the box, there's a little bit more we need to look at. We have a few more pieces of test material here to get started with. We have your power cord, which plugs right into the back of the machine and then just into a standard outlet. We then have a USB cord. This cord can plug into the back of the machine and then into your computer. You also have the ability to hook up your machine via Bluetooth. We're going to go into that a little bit in depth later. I run all my machines on Bluetooth, but you always have this backup cable just in case that doesn't work for you. I've taken the plastic off this machine. Now let's open it up. You just pull up on the top here, and the bottom is going to fall open. Everything stays open for you. It's a little bit of packaging on the inside that we need to remove. So let's take a look at this machine. On the bottom here, on this door that opened, there is a little storage compartment that you could keep some things in. You've also got 2 little compartments here that you can store some extra tools in. You have 2 clamps right here. You have a clamp A and a clamp B. These open by just pulling this little piece up here. And there's a bit of a magnet so that your tool stays in. But this is the fine point blade. This comes with every Cricut machine, and it's going to cut most of the materials that you need to cut. You can swap this out for other types of blades or tools that go in here. In clamp A, we can add writing utensils. You could add a scoring tool and a number of other different tools. But for right now, we're just going to focus on this blade that comes with it. Over here, we have the power button. We have a button with two little arrows that helps you feed your material in and out. We have a button that looks like play. That is going to be your start button. And then we have a pause button if you ever need to just pause your project. Most of the work you're going to do happens on your computer or your phone using the Cricut Design Space app. There are two little ports in the back. One is for the power cord. The other is for the USB if you're going to connect your machine directly to your computer or your laptop. So we've turned the machine on, and now we're ready to set up and register this machine. I've got my laptop here, and on this little card it tells you exactly what to do. If you have never used Cricut before, you want to go to cricut.com/setup. So that's what we're going to do right now. So this is going to walk us through every step. The first thing we're going to do is click Cutting Machine, because that is what we are setting up. Then you're going to agree here and you're going to download the Cricut Design Space software. This is where you're going to do all your designing and all of your work. So click download now and then open that software. So we want to select Smart Cutting Machine. And then we can pick the machine that we have, and we're doing the Cricut Maker 3. Couple things you need to keep in mind. When you are cutting or using materials, it's going to go all the way through the back of your machine. So you don't want to have it too close to the wall. We've plugged it in and turned it on already. Now there's two options for connecting here, and I'm going to choose to connect via Bluetooth and show you just how easy this is. So if your device does not automatically populate like mine didn't, we are going to find it. So I'm going to go down into my Bluetooth settings. This is a Windows PC here. And we're going to add a device. And there we have our Maker 3 right here. Now that I've connected it once, it'll show up every time. So we need to make sure that we register this machine. Do not skip this part. This just shows that this machine is yours. So let's talk about Cricut Access for a moment here. Cricut Access is a subscription service that allows you to access hundreds of thousands of images, fonts, and ready-to-make projects. You also get a discount on Cricut purchases and a coupon. There's also a few Design Space features that are exclusive just for Cricut Access members. So I encourage you to use your 30-day free trial. But remember, you can absolutely use your Cricut with the free version of Design Space. You do not have to pay for Cricut Access. So now we want to make our first cut. So let's walk through making our first cut. The first thing we want to do is make sure that that fine point blade is installed in clamp B, and it is. It's ready to go. Now we're going to go back to this sheet of vinyl. This is smart vinyl, meaning it can just run right into this machine. There are lots of ways that you can cut materials with a Cricut. You can also use a cutting mat, which is what I use most often. So I highly recommend getting a bundle or ordering a Cricut mat with your machine when you get it. That allows you to put any type of material onto the cutting mat and cut it out. Let's make this really simple. We're going to use a smart material, no mat required. So you can see that this little light is flashing right here. Anytime that's flashing, that means your machine is ready to accept the material. And all we do is just put it in here just until it stops right underneath these two clips and just against the rollers. And then we're going to push this button. Your machine is going to sense how long the material is and make sure there's enough material to create the project. When this play button is flashing, that means your machine is ready to cut your project. So now we're going to hit play. Maker 3 is really fast. Our cut is done already. The button with the two arrows is going to flash again. That's going to unload our material because I can't just pull it out on my own. I have to unload it. So now I've cut my project. When you cut vinyl, it doesn't cut all the way through, it just cuts the top part of the vinyl and it turns it into a sticker. So let me show you how to get it off the backing. To get the vinyl sticker that we just cut off of here, it's helpful to use a couple tools. I highly recommend the basic toolkit from Cricut. You can get this as part of some of the bundles. This right here is a weeding tool, and I use it all the time. You need it when you're working with vinyl. You've also got a scraper tool here, which is great for vinyl. You've got a nice little scissors for cutting out details and a tweezer for picking up small parts. The first thing I'm going to do is cut away the excess that I'm not using. I'm a big proponent of always saving your scraps. One of the most expensive parts about owning a Cricut is purchasing materials. I love shopping sales and getting really good deals on Cricut vinyl and iron-on, but even when I get them on sale, I save my scraps. These pieces were not cut. So I'm going to put these off to the side and use them for another project. Now I'm just going to take my weeding tool and I'm going to pull at the corner. And this is going to take off the outside. The weeding tool is great for getting out little pieces in the middle. So this decal we could just pull off and put somewhere else, but I want to show you how to use this. So let's say I want to pull out these letters that are in here. I can use my tool to just easily pull them out. Just like that. And I am left with our first cut that we made out of smart vinyl. I could add this machine, or I could add this decal to my machine. I could add it anywhere I want. So we have unboxed, set up, and made our first project with the Cricut Maker 3. Congratulations! Now what? Now what do you do next? The next part can be really overwhelming because this machine can do almost everything. So the first thing I want you to do is subscribe to this channel. I share Cricut tutorials all the time, from really, really basic projects like this to in-depth projects on how to cut wood and engrave metal to make jewelry. So hit that subscribe button and check out my Cricut tutorials. The next thing I want you to do is take a look at Cricut Learn. When you're here in Cricut Design Space, there's a lot of different things you can do. You can grab a project to get started, but you might need to start somewhere really basic. So click on this button over here on the left that says Get Started. There's an introduction video that you can watch. And then as you scroll down, there is some step-by-step guides that walk you through anything you might want to do. So you can make your first project that's a little more complicated than the Cricut decal we did. You can learn how to work in Design Space to manipulate images. There's even more in-depth courses and resources you can use here in the Getting Started tab. You can also check out Cricut Learn. This is a very similar format. You can search for what you're looking for, or you can check out all these beginner guides. They're going to walk you through everything you need to know about using your Cricut. With Cricut Design Space and my Cricut Maker 3, there's not much I can't create. So here's a few common questions and a few things that I wish I knew when I got started with Cricut. Number one, you can use all of the resources that are in Cricut Design Space. Whether or not you have access, you can use what you find there. That includes images, fonts, and projects. You're going to be able to work with those and manipulate them and create what you want to create. But you can also upload your own designs. So if you are a graphic designer or an amateur designer and you've created something that you want to cut out with your Cricut, you can absolutely upload it into the software and use that. You do not have to be an experienced crafter to use Cricut. That is the beauty of this whole setup. No matter where you're at in your creative journey, Cricut can help you. So if you have a great idea, but maybe you don't have the tools to do it, Cricut can probably help you with that. If you're scrolling through Instagram and you see a great piece of home decor that you like, there's probably a way you can use your Cricut to make your design become a reality. If you don't already have your Cricut machine, be sure to take a look in the description at some of my favorite bundles. These are going to come with the machine, the cutting mat, the tools, and the materials that you want to get started creating. Once you have it at home, get it out of the box, go through the process we just went through here, and get started creating. Sometimes that is the most difficult part, is just taking that first step. Don't worry if you don't know how to use all the complicated tools and materials. Just start with something simple and take it one step at a time. Remember, I am here every week sharing new creative videos, so be sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next one. If you have any other questions about Cricut, be sure to leave a comment down below. I would love to chat with you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.